Oh, don't mind me. I'm just waiting for some stupid side character to show up and interrupt me so I can get on with the real review. Keeps happening this month, so who is it today?
Ha!
No.
I'm Evil Matt.
No.
Come on, I could be a really fun side character.
No.
We could do story arcs.
God, no.
You need an arch nemesis.
I already do have an arch nemesis. Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer.
And I'll make you watch a Friedberg and Seltzer movie.
No, it's the month of animation. We're talking about an animated show.
But...
Dude, come on. I'm evil enough on my own. I don't need your help.
There were some movies, terrible movies, movies so awful, no one would touch. Then came a Matthew, sad little Matthew. Matthew decided these movies to watch. For every good movie, there's at least 10 bad. Matthew gonna drag himself through the crap to find the worst ones there are to be had.
Today's episode, Godzilla the Animated Series. Hello Internet, I'm called Matt, and welcome back to the final entry in the month of animation, where today we're looking at probably my favorite of all these series. Godzilla the Animated Series from Hanna-Barbera. Yes, Hanna-Barbera, creators of hundreds of famous animated series, from Flintstones to Scooby-Doo, made a series based on the classic Japanese monster movie that ran 26 episodes from September 78 through December 79. And when I say based on, I mean that in the loosest sense possible. See, even though they got the rights to the name Godzilla, Toho didn't give them the rights to his trademarked roar, any of his popular enemies, or even his radiation breath. So what we got was a Godzilla only marginally more accurate to the source material than the Matthew Broderick Godzilla, which, bizarrely enough, also had its own animated series. Someday, my sweet. The show starred Jeff David, Al Eisenman, and Hilly Hicks. No, you wouldn't know anything they were in. Also, Ted Cassidy, Lurch from the Addams Family, voiced Godzilla himself. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the involvement of Don Messick, one of Hanna-Barbera's frequent voice actors, who played the original Scooby-Doo, Papa Smurf, Boo-Boo, Droopy Dog, and Gears. And if you think Gears is the worst character he's ever played, wait till you meet his character in this show.
Godzuki, where are you?
So you know that trope of introducing cartoon characters' nephews? Scrappy, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, Robin. Well, meet Godzilla. Godzilla. I love this character with all my being. You realize this means not only does Godzilla have siblings, but in-laws? They couldn't have just made it Godzilla's son like in the movies. It had to be his fucking nephew. And that's where a lot of the humor of this show comes from. It's exactly like every other Hanna-Barbera cartoon, but it's Godzilla. No point in beating around the bush. Let's look at the very first episode, Firebird.
Up from the depths, 30 stories high, breathing fire, his head in the sky. Godzilla, and Godzilla.
I don't know that I can add anything to that.
It's not a good commando name. Oh, all right. Firebird.
The show begins with two scientists studying a volcano when it erupts, birthing Firebird. Then Pete, the small boy who's best friends with Godzilla, is playing hide-and-seek with him.
What do you mean, how'd I find you? The whole shit knows you're back here.
Wait, he speaks Godzilla? The fuck, get this kid in the Godzilla movies. He'd save us all a bunch of time. He's just a little hungry. We're introduced to the crew of the Calico, and true to the Godzilla movies, no one gives a shit about the humans. Luckily, a tidal wave is headed their way, so they have to call old Godzilla for help.
That's a 10-point landing! And a wet one!
Is this what passed for a joke in the 70s?
Pete, you'd better at least teach Godzuki how to dog paddle.
Don't you mean monster paddle?
That is the greatest joke I have ever heard in my life. LOL, such a good joke. Fucking A++. And the nominees for Greatest Joke Ever are: What's brown and sticky? A stick. I like pepperoni. Whatever meme is popular right now? And don't you mean monster paddle? And the winner of Greatest Joke Ever Told is... Don't you mean monster paddle? And I'm not kidding, they let the kid drive the boat while they discuss plans. They get the distress call from the scientist and decide they've got to get there fast, so they abandon Godzuki so they can move faster. Hold up, how much of a fat ass is Godzuki? Yeah, he's big, but he'd have to be made of lead to weigh the boat down that much. They rescue the scientist just in time and reveal that whatever set this volcano off could set off every volcano in the area. Then they set off in their hovercraft? Okay. They're hovercraft, but when Godzuki flies after them, the can't-be-older-than-10 kid Pete flies a helicopter to find them. And once he finds Godzuki, he doesn't just say, "Alright, back to the ship." They go into the volcano. This kid is dead. I promise. It's probably why the series only lasted 26 episodes. Kid went fucking around where he shouldn't have been and died. The Johnny Quest bootlegs stumble across a huge split in the cave and Firebird emerges. And Pete and his dragon are on the other side.
Where'd that scary shriek come from?
Pete, do you seriously not see the giant flaming bird in the room? They escape the cave with Firebird right behind them, and there's only one man who can stop it. Godzilla. Oh gee, looks like Firebird's got some bad breath. Oh, and look at that, Godzilla has laser eyes. No. This is the shit we came for. Get him, Zilster. That said, it's kinda hard to comment on. It's just monsters fighting. At one point, Godzuki flies in to help and gets defeated by the bird's tail. Oh, Godzuki, you truly are the best. Finally, Godzilla takes the bird underwater and traps him in a cave.
No, Godzuki, no!
You're coming in too fast! Slow down! Slow down!
But he stopped. He was already, at the ship and stopped.
You know I have to punish you. You can't come back on the boat.
Kid, you weigh all of 90 pounds. How are you gonna punish a giant flying dragon? And that's Hanna-Barbera's Godzilla. The novelty of this might wear off in watching more episodes, but in watching just one episode, it seems like a parody, honestly. Like a cutaway gag in Family Guy. It hits all the tropes of a Hanna-Barbera cartoon, but nonsensically applies them to Godzilla. For something just as long as the other two, it felt way shorter. Overall, I loved that so many properties clearly not for kids made it into cartoons, and I'm certainly going to revisit this concept next May, as making R-rated movies into cartoons turns out to be a very lucrative business. Also, only tangentially related, but I found out earlier this week there were even plans for an Alien cartoon that never came through, and honestly, it wouldn't have been out of place. So until next May, I hope you enjoyed the month of animation, and I'll see you in the next episode of Matt's Fun Time Bad Movie Show.
Don't you mean monster paddle?
Now I'm gonna shoot you!
No! To be continued. Scrappy, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Forgot Kermit's nephew's name, because everyone forgets Kermit's nephew's name.